I love living in California and I love the weather, but oftentimes the gardens are not quite what you would call lush. So that's why I'm so excited today to share with you a tour of the Ruth Bancroft Garden. The garden is laid out with an area at the beginning with some buildings and some tables to sit at. And they can offer you a map, or you can just follow the paths around by yourself. This garden seems to defy the stereotype of California landscape. It's diverse and beautiful, rugged and delicate at the same time. But it's maybe not lush, but it's populated with wholly drought-tolerant plants. The garden is open to the public 5 days a week. There is a small admission charge to get in, and a little bit of exploration on the website shows that it's a venue for small private events and even beautiful weddings. While we walk inside, let me tell you a little bit more about the history of the garden. The story begins in the late 1800s when historian and publisher Herbert Howe Bancroft established a 400-acre farm here in Walnut Creek. On this land, he grew pears and walnuts, and for 3 generations, the Bancroft family operated this agricultural enterprise until the late 1960s, and the property passed through the family, setting the stage for what would become a revolution. On this section of the path, I just stopped. I was mesmerized by the graceful dance the sprinklers were doing. Their pinwheel motions with water coming out, sweeping around, and then almost retracting back in again. I get it. That's not the way the mechanism works, but it still captivated me. Ruth Bancroft married into this farming family and was initially focused on traditional gardening, exploring with wildflowers and irises and roses. These were what was growing all around her in the typical suburban landscape of green lawns and single-family homes. It took a while for her to develop an interest in cacti and succulents. As you meander around the different paths here, there are several attractions that will reveal themselves. This includes this pond with lily pads and koi and other fish. There are some other sculptural and architectural elements for you to visit, and more tables and chairs to enjoy the scenery. On my particular visit, there were a lot of flowers blooming. And this cactus was growing out of the bark of the palm tree. I asked the gardener, and he said the birds eat the seeds and then they fertilize them into place when they are resting on the palm tree. And then they maintained them. I thought it was fascinating. The real turning point came in 1971 when Ruth, at 63 years old, was given 3 empty acres of land to create her own garden. There was one important condition. The plants all needed to use very little water. But instead of this being a restriction, drought tolerant became the inspiration for the landscaping that we see here today. The Ruth Bancroft Gardens showcase an outstanding collection of climate-appropriate plants from around the world. These feature agave and aloe, and there are specimens that are the backbone of the garden that can be seen along the edges of many of the paths and act as anchors. There are loads of cacti, including golden barrel cactus and other colorful species that provide year-round interest. Despite their lack of, conventional leaves and foliage, there are a number of California plants that are drought tolerant and perfectly adapted to this climate. And there's a whole host of succulent plants and water storing plants. This garden demonstrates how colorful and visually striking they can be. The irrigation here is supplied by a well that was dug into the property and emphasizes the organization's commitment to water conservation. It's funny because in this scene you cannot smell it, and I will tell you that you are grateful. Because the gardener looks like he's watering, but he's actually fertilizing, and he is putting down a solution of fish emulsion. I cannot even begin to describe how pungent the odor was coming out of that hose. And I know that while it will dissipate quite soon, man sakes alive, that was smelly. This green structure offers a canopy and kind of a backdrop, but no actual real shade, and they call it a garden folly. Eventually, the garden was opened to the public in 1992. Ruth herself lived to be an incredible 109 years old. She spent decades nurturing her creation and watching slow plants grow to maturity and spectacular specimens. Her pioneering work was decades ahead of its time and has become increasingly relevant as California faces ongoing water challenges through droughts. And when you feel like you're done, the whole tour culminates in the most wonderful nursery and gift area. They have beautiful pots that are made by local artists and other garden ornaments. I had a wonderful time visiting. It was very inspiring to see how beautiful drought-tolerant gardening could look. What about you? Have you toured the Ruth Bancroft Garden?